All right, guys, we're back for another episode. Today is a big talk. This is a big one. This is important. I want to talk about the invisible ladder that everyone is climbing, but no one admits they're climbing it. Did you ever realize that? Everyone is playing this invisible game. There's this invisible ladder. Everyone knows it. Everyone's grasping at it, trying to get higher on it, but no one talks about it. No one admits it. Okay? And the truth is that every room you walk into has a hierarchy. You can feel it instantly the moment you walk into a room. Who people look at, who they defer to, who they're nervous around. And even if you say that you don't care about status, your nervous system still does. Any room that you go into, there's going to be an automatic assessment of who people are, what they represent, not only their money, but their status, their fame, what they can get for you, who they know, the structures and systems that they carry, right? Or even more esoteric, the energetic forces and spirits that they carry. People are constantly looking around and thinking, oh, that's someone cool, that's someone interesting, that's so-and-so, that's so-and-so, oh, did you see this? And it's just this never-ending social game that happens. And there's nothing wrong with it. The only thing that's wrong with it is that people, A, pretend it doesn't exist, or B, unconsciously play it until they're completely exhausted and fried or just dirty. And I say dirty because when you climb the ladder unconsciously, you get dirty. You literally get dirty if you climb the hierarchical ladder, the status ladder. If you climb it without doing internal work, without really understanding what you're doing and presencing what you're doing, you will get dirty. Okay, you don't want to get dirty. All right, so the ladder is energetic. It's not just a social ladder. It's energetic. It's something about the way people show up to the room, the way they carry themselves, the way they operate internally in their relationship to themselves. It's not about followers or dick size or net worth, not about blue checks on Instagram. It's about who holds certainty, who doesn't seek approval. And trust me, I've seen this time and time again at my Spirit of a Man retreats where you have people who are either famous or world-class athlete or have hundreds of millions of dollars, but they feel like a little speck in the room compared to other people, because it's about who holds certainty, who doesn't seek approval, who doesn't over-explain, who doesn't rush to fill silence. Hierarchy is felt. You can feel it. You can sit in a room and you can just feel who is carrying something impressive, okay? And again, we're not saying all this to be obsessed about the ladder or obsessed about status, but we're all playing it, we're all chasing it, we're all doing it. Let's just do it consciously, right? Let's just actually talk about it. Because it's like asking a fish what's water. Well, let's just talk about the water for a second, okay? So why do people get nervous around certain individuals? Like you may notice, right? And this being like a public figure that I started to become, and I'm still a peon, okay? But people will come up to me in a grocery store and they'll be like shaking and like, oh my God, are you the Detox dude? And they're like, they don't even know what to say. I'm like, what? Like, why are you talking to me like that? I'm a human being, okay? And who do you think I am? Like, who is it that you think I am? What kind of pedestal are you putting me up on? And what do I represent to you that you're not there? That nervousness, and I'm not saying it to you, I'm saying this because we all get that. All that nervousness is just telling you that you're not there. You're not at that level of the ladder. And you're grasping or clawing or thinking that that's not you. And by the way, the only way to get there is to become that. You have to become the thing to get to the next level of the ladder. You can't grasp and claw and pretend and act and get really jacked. You have to become something new to change the structure and the systems internally to get to the next level of the ladder. And it never ends. I still look at some of my clients and I feel like a peon around them because of what they're doing in the world, right? So I noticed the peon reference. I still watch Warcraft 3, and I played it religiously for about 15 years, and so it's burned in my brain. But nevertheless, whenever you have that inside, that graspiness, you are, that person is representing a certain level to you, and you want to get there, and you believe that they have a gift for you or a representation of it for you, and so you grasp at it, or you have fear that you're not enough, or fear, and you just have this neediness that comes up, right? Because you want to be there. Well, again, the only way to get to the next level is to stop grasping, to stop caring so much, to change the internal structures and systems, and to climb that next rung of the ladder. It's an inside job, okay? And then the outer world becomes the secondary thing, the impact. That's the reflection. That's the validation that shows you that you transformed inside. So why people get nervous around certain individuals? Well, they perceive you as higher on the ladder. So then what happens? You compress, you overperform, you talk too much, you withdraw. Okay, this is just biology. Humans are wired for dominance hierarchies. And again, the question isn't whether or not this exists. The question is, can you see this without being owned by it? What is being owned by it? Well, you see it and then you like hate yourself and then you like cancel the appointment because you're too needy. No. Or the other end of the spectrum is like putting on a false character of like, hey, Josh Macin here, nice to meet you. Yeah, and you put, like the game theory where you like put them down, like you'll make fun of someone who's like bigger than you in every single possible way, and you'll put them down and make fun of them and turn your hand over this way to assert dominance. You ever see men who do that? I have. I have people, and it's just like, it's almost laughable. It's just like, what, dude? You're clearly owned by something here, right? You should maybe look at that thing. So there's two types of ladder climbers, right? There's unconscious climbers. And again, a lot of people are unconscious climbers. A lot of people you'll see on Instagram, on YouTube, especially Instagram. There is a whole world of posts out there where you see the dirt that people pick up along the way as they try to climb the ladder. And it's unconscious because they're owned by the desire to climb. The desire to get to the next level is the single most important thing, and they lose their center, they lose their soul, they lose their self. Climbing the ladder has to be an additional bonus game, not the North Star, okay? The North Star has to remain heartful, soulful, connected, truthful. And then the climbing is a byproduct, okay? So the unconscious climbers get very, very dirty along the way. You can see it on them energetically. They'll start having a certain facial expression, skin. There's energetics that change. You begin to take on all of this heavy astrality, this dirty energy, because you're just a ladder climber. And you begin to have health issues. You begin to lose your light. You begin to get dim in the eyes. You can feel it. You can smell it on someone. When all they care about is money and ladder chasing, you can smell it, okay? And it's a performance. It's not real. There's a massive amount of pain there that the person is not acknowledging and not transforming, and they're not actually transforming who they are and how they be in the world. They're just outside of themselves, playing the video game outside, changing some things, pretending, polishing it up, and and basically creating an image. So they climb socially, but they shrink internally. Have some food from lunch still in there that was bothering me, but I just got rid of it, so we're good now. Okay? So then there's the conscious climbers. Conscious climbers, they study presence, they study leverage, they study speed, they study decision clarity. They study how powerful people be in the world. You guys gotta start studying successful people. Being around them, hanging around them, communicating with them. There is a certain language. I will tell you, I can talk to someone, and in a matter of 5 minutes or less, I can tell you if this is a person who's really up to something big on the planet, who has employees and has a team and has a mission and has finances, and you can just feel it, you can smell it, you can taste it, because these people move at such speed. They don't have time for normal human dynamics. They don't have time for like what you consider niceness or like small talk or like just like there's a language that's spoken amongst CEOs and high performers. Like they just don't have space for bullshit. Like I was just in the last week, I've been on the phone with like Peter Crone and like 2 different NCAA Division I wrestling champions and an MVP Giancarlo Stanton from the New York Yankees and multiple other actors. And I mean, I write this shit down. I have a list, but I don't need to. That would be unconscious climbing there, trying to give you my validation here, right? There's a little bit of that there, but the reason I say that is because these people all carry something. They carry something. They don't have time for anything. They're like bloodhounds for what type of conversation, what data is going to help them take them to the next level. Any data, conversation, words, small talk, any data or any person, place, or thing that is not in the cards that will help them get to the next level, they're not interested. And they're a bloodhound. They can smell it right away. You have to talk to them a certain way. You have to be matter of fact. You have to move things directly. You have to go direct. You have to give them the solution. This is a CEO language. You got to learn how to speak that if you want to be that. Okay, you have to speak that if you want to be that. You have to be that if you want to be that. All right, and so watch how they operate. They're not chasing status. They're building a capacity to continue transforming and transcending, and they're changing their vehicle. Like this dude, Anthony Cassar, NCAA D1 champ, you can tell he's just interested and focused on anything and everything that he can transform his vehicle. It's powerful to be in the presence of guys like this. They're just simply looking for what can transform their vehicle, and they're a bloodhound for it. They know exactly who has medicine for them. Okay? So I say that because you want to be that. You want to be that. You have to replicate that, but I'm not talking about acting. I'm talking about learning via osmosis, becoming it. Okay? So there's also a sort of meta awareness people have, right? They understand who matters in a room, how attention flows, how influence flows. Most people feel this unconsciously, but the real winners, the real badasses, they can navigate this deliberately. They know what they're doing and how they're doing it, and they're conscious while they're doing it. They know who to talk to. They know how to talk. There's a know-how. There's a know-how. It's not just in their body and in their mind. It's almost above their head. It's like they can pull and plug into things and know how to navigate and operate, what decisions to make. This skill set, this whole thing that I'm imbuing you with right now, this is the trick to success. This is to consciously navigate. This is the trick to success. It's not learning more content, studying more data, becoming really, learning all these cheap tricks and this and that. That you can get rich doing that too. But if you want to get really successful and impactful and grow your bank account all at the same time and have purpose, you got to learn how to navigate this skill, how to navigate the world. When you spend an hour talking to the electrician, which by the way, I almost did the other day, because and you can do this and you can do that and just dragging me down into all of this complexity when he could just simply say, just do this. This is the reason why. See you. Let's get to work. There was an hour and back and forth and this and that. You got to know how to navigate as someone who's up to something. Nope, I can't do this conversation. Talk to my assistant. Talk to this person. Text me. Just text me. Send me a loom. People want to talk to me on the phone every day, all day. I just say, send me a loom. And it's not to be arrogant. It's because you got to protect your time when you're up to something. When you are a Ferrari and you're navigating very, very fast, you can't stop everywhere and say, hey, what are you doing there? What are you doing there? You got to have precision. Okay, I'm talking about precision so guys can keep moving faster and cut away the anchors. The anchors are people who are going to drag your energy down, waste your time. You got to be hypersensitive to this navigational skill. Okay? Also, what actually separates, right? We already talked about this, but like these people, they're just decisive under pressure. And I say these people, but I am kind of doing this as well myself, right? Not to be arrogant, but I am becoming one of these people, if you will. Lack of need for approval, clean boundaries, no energetic leakage, ability to tolerate being misunderstood, comfort in silence, speed without urgency. Okay? It's not about status, it's about gravitas. Okay? Very, very important. Again, I'm just explaining this ladder and helping you put presence on this ladder so it doesn't own you and you can play the game consciously. The dangerous trap, right? If you climb externally without building internally, again, you will get dirty. I told you. You'll become fragile at higher altitudes. You'll be threatened all the time. You'll feel imposter syndrome. You'll overperform. You'll lose yourself. You'll lose your center. You'll lose your soul. And that's why a lot of really, really big people sometimes are actually really small inside of themselves. And you can't see that on the image. You can't see that on Instagram. You can't see that when they have ownership of the domain and what they can control. But you see that in an equalizer. When you're in an equalizer, like jiu-jitsu or the Spirit of a Man retreat or any sort of activity that is an equalizer, like Navy SEAL training, that shit is an equalizer. It doesn't matter your money, your bank account, when you did this, what your accolades were, this, that, or the other. It doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is the moment and how you show up and what's real and tried and true. So life, right now we live in a world where there's not a lot of equalizers and you can control your image. But guys, it's all a farce. So don't get caught in it. Okay? So how do we climb consciously, right? First, you want to notice who makes you shrink. Notice who makes you perform. Notice who makes you relax. Notice when someone is grasping at you. Notice when you're grasping at someone else. Study your nervous system. Track it like a motherfucker. Track. Don't copy behaviors. Build the capacity to be transformed. The ladder is not climbed by imitation. When you imitate, you don't really climb the next rung. You're still performing, you're still faking it, and that thing will get cut at any moment in time. It's climbed by changing the internal structures, systems, and capacity and creating internal expansion. That is how this ladder is climbed, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? The invisible ladder isn't about beating anyone. It's about becoming someone whose presence creates gravity. When your nervous system is stable, your boundaries are clean, your biology is not chaotic, people will feel it and they will respond. Change how you be in the world and watch as you climb the next rung of the ladder and climb it consciously. All right, folks, hope you enjoyed the video. Leave me a like, comment, share this with your friends who need to hear this. Peace.